No subs, no worries. Here we go. Hello VC, Eric here again, making another video, another entry. Trying to stay focused while I have a friend giggling and chuckling in the background. She's gonna fail. She's already ruined it before. I got a narrow window to make midnight, but the way I look at it, you're an hour behind. You're in Green Bay. So, midnight your time? Maybe? We'll see. Who knows? But, yeah, here we go, man. Chris Has the Spins, if you haven't watched it. He's a good enough dude. He's, collecting records like the rest of us. He has an opinion. He's likable. So, why not make a content entry for my boy? In honor of that, I'm wearing this lovely vintage Green Bay Packers jacket. You know, I'm wearing my colors just for the people out there who are making the mistake of being Bears and Lions fans and what have you. No one needs that in their life. But here we go. If you didn't get it done, I guess it's going to be too late by the time you watch this video. And pretty cool. It's 20 questions, so it's kind of like round 2 on Vinyl Tag. Except he said, hey man, if you don't want to answer some, you do. Cool. I think I'm probably close to the 20. I omitted some, but not that much. And I'm probably out of order here to make it unique and fun. But here we go. I'm playing some dad rock in the background. Some 10cc for those people that want to have really slow bad sex. The wine, you've probably seen this wine box in the past, is Juggernaut. It's a big, bold, obnoxious Cabernet. It's one of those that you let finish. And other night, we didn't even finish the bottle of wine because, you know, we don't like to drink that much. When you're having good company, sometimes you only need to drink one drink. And things happen. But here we go. Alright. And I guess the caveat on this, at least when I watched the entire video, and then towards the end, I scrolled and looked at the little rundown in the video. And most of them are based on covers. So I look at this, not just so much about the music, but a lot of the questions are oriented around the cover, which suits me. A lot of you people know that I collect random album covers as they're cheap for shits and tickles. So, yeah, anyways, here we go. The first one would be a recreation. If I was going to do it with a family member or myself, or would it be an album cover? And this right here is a compilation of surf and drag. And the surf part is not so much the part I'm referring to, but unfortunately my dad passed away young. And we built a pretty gnarly 460 horsepower streetcar 2003 dark metallic blue Mercury Marauder. That's a genuine 180 mile an hour car, but we'd always talked about building a proper old school muscle car, you know, and that wheelie stand, not necessarily that car, is something I would like to recreate. So there it is. Anyways, this is cool. It's old Beach Boys, Jan and Dean, the Safaris, Kingsmen, the Hondells, Randy and the Ripcords, the Ventures. Anyways, it's just old surfer rock and drag strip music. You know, we used to use the word drag before the transgender. So you can't say transgender anymore. You can't say tranny. So you got to be politically correct. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's absurd. I like cars. But after that, here we go on no subs, no worries. Oh, 10cc, that's what I was getting at. What I cut in on is side 2, track 1. It doesn't matter at all is what we're playing right now in the background, because hey man, if you don't have any subs, it doesn't matter. You make 2 or 3 friends in the vinyl community, you got a common thing you could yap with people about and shoot the breeze, you're cool. You're already winning, man. If you're lucky to get more subscribers than a handful, kudos to you. But let's rip through these, because I'm long-winded and no one needs a 40-minute video of me talking. But Happy Feelin' album cover. This right here, this disco era weirdness, the Ritchie family. We got some pretty ethnic ladies, never hurt my feelings, but it's American Generation. And what I like about it with American Generation, which they opted to feature, and one of them, okay, what's more American than baseball? True enough. We got football without a mask, because that's, sure. And then hockey, by all means, because if we're talking American Generation, hockey's probably going to be primary if there's 3. Also, go Blackhawks. Besides that, these Toronto Blue Jays? She's wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hat on American Generation. Hockey's featured. And on the back is equipment with maple leafs. Like, anyways, that's just silly. It makes me happy. The music, it's disco. It is what it is. There's some cool beats. It's overproduced. The vocals are bad. The very last track is called I Feel Disco Good. and it would be a really cool late night romp song if at the end she wasn't saying disco good. And it ruins it. It had potential, that one song. The rest is rubbish. But that's like a $2 record. I'm cool with it. After that, album cover that makes you feel sad, man. I've shown this before, and I really appreciate and like his music. But Kendrick Lamar? Damn. I mean, enough said with this front cover. And the back one, boot, man. Lyrical substance in the rap game now. It's kind of less than commonplace. And, you know, yeah, there we go. But, a sexy album cover. Alright, you guys know me enough. I collect a little cheesecake. I like some random pin-up girl-esque album covers. And there's plenty of sexy artists out there that have done in the past that just have overtly sexual album cover, you know. But subtle sexy sometimes is the most sexy. And Sade, beautiful woman, beautiful voice. I'm not mad at that. And so that right there, that's a subtle sexy. And of course, Smooth Operator kicks it off on that. That's just lovely. But here we go, man. I don't need to talk about that. If you don't know about Sade, chances are you don't know a lot about a lot of things. So get it going, man. Put some spice in your life. After that, I'm checking the cheat sheet too here because there's so many questions here, and I got them rearranged in some scribble scrabble just so I can keep up with what I'm doing. But so forgive me if I look away. I'm here. I'm paying attention to you guys. How you doing? Look at that. Oh yeah, bye. We're shaking hands. We're getting to know each other. We're powwowing. But boring album cover, man. If you're around in the 80s, there was some fun, funky radio stuff. I don't mean funky as in like funk music, but I just mean like you know, some groovy, cool tunes in the 80s that were, you know, pop-oriented and, you know, new British stuff and all that. But Human League, Fascination, is there less you can do with an album cover? Can it be more drab? Even the back image here, I'm not even going to peel off this this protective sleeve. That image is nothing. It's gray. It's the color of suicide. This gray right here is if, I don't know, if Seattle had a depressed cousin and they had a jacket that they wear too much when they don't shower for a week at a time and they contemplate killing themselves. That's the color of that album cover. That's a tasty wine. Try not to spill it. All right. After that, best dressed. It'd be so easy and cliche to just pick out from so many soul albums. I mean, I got an Eddie Kendricks one where he's wearing like a green crushed velvet with a sweater vest and a tie, and I mean, it's just ridiculous. Stick pin, and the dude's looking really sharp, okay? And so any idiot can look sharp. I mean, look at me. I'm morbidly obese. I could die at any second. You know, this shirt right here, don't tell anyone, it's a Donald Trump shirt. I didn't know back then. I didn't know. Anyways, yeah, the neck's not want to do it because Donald Trump, you know, he has no neck muscles, he has no shoulders, so this shirt doesn't really fit. It looks all right underneath the jacket. But best dressed, there were so many Paul Revere type bands in the 60s that all wore the matching little fun outfits, and they were really cool. I got an American Breed album that everyone's matched on and everything, but the one that I just look, man, just uniform and concise, this Dave Clark 5, those dudes are sharp. They're tailored, they're symmetrical, you know, symmetry in the sense that they're all matching, you know, that no one's doing a thing where one guy's like, well, I'm wearing red pants or I'm wearing white shoes. And then if you were in doubt, here they are in the back doing it in turtlenecks. That's too small to see. And just living their life. They're tied, jacket, trench coat, pinstripes, all that jazz. But yeah, Dave Clark 5. I avoided some obvious ones, you know, and gave white boys a chance. All right, so Gatefold. You know, I just threw this in at the end. I'd kind of already done like 14, 13 questions or whatever, and I was like, man, Chris deserves as many as I can throw at him here. So, Gatefold, this is offshoot or side project, or I don't know if it's people as post or whatever. It's side project of Yes. You know, it's a little proggy, doesn't rock too much, and it's, if you don't put together the pieces, I mean, it's not too obvious here, this flash, but clearly, when you open up the gatefold, it gets a little naughty, you know? Look at that, a lady with a small butt, you know? Big butts are beautiful, but, you know, small butt lives matter, you know? Anyways, after that here, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Small butt lives matter, you know? Small butts are cute. But stop laughing. You said you weren't going to be in the video. All right. Anyways, forgive me, people. There's a lady here chuckling. I'm not that funny. I'm not that funny. All right. So, I just pointed. Oh, YouTube got me. I guarantee you, right here. What? This right here. Somehow, if you point at anything in the world, that's going to be your snippet. I'm going to show 20 records, and then that's going to be the snippet. Or, I don't even know who it was. When I started watching the VC, I don't want to do it, but someone scratched his nose for a nanosecond, and they captured it like my man was digging for gold. So, yeah, watch where you point your fingers in these videos, people. I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. I can't help that. But so, that was the gatefold. Unknown, but should be known artist. There's a local, I just scratched my nose. Shit. But, I swore. Now my video's going to be banned. Don't swear in my comments. You won't be seen. YouTube's against me. But, Radio Rooms, this local dive bar. And when they got rid of the laws in South Carolina that you couldn't have bars open after 2 a.m., private clubs, they went kind of more less divey and have a better venue with a better stage. But my buddy David's one of the two owners there, along with Canada. Canada's a good dude. But I discovered this band, watching them live. It's one of David's favorite bands ever. This is Teen. This is Limbo. This is big fat vinyl. It's split on 2 here. But it's nice stuff. It's those kind of labels where, you know, you got to flip over and you don't really know what you're listening to until you look at 2 records and flip and make some choices and everything. But anyway, so this is cool. This is kind of contemporary, female vocal, spacey, kind of synth element shoegaze. Anyways, this is kind of cool. If you don't know about them, I don't blame you. Of course, it's the VC. People seem to know about all sorts of random stuff. But Teen in Limbo is the album. I know they got more, if I'm not mistaken. But they're a rad group. And by the way, Hannah would probably appreciate it the most. I bought that used at a local record store. So I don't believe that this digital download card has been burnt. But Hannah, this is probably your cup of tea. Douche. You might be big into it. So who knows? But I don't think this is burnt. So someone hit me in the comment section, and I will give you a free digital record. But in goes the shirt pocket there. We're at 12 minutes. I'm not yapping that much. We're about halfway through. But so great artwork. When I looked at this, I figured if I'm going to do great artwork, I'm going to do artwork. You might not know this about me. When I have to do Robert Z's video, I just cut my hair, you know, because I guess there's, you know, other things I could have done, but that's what it was. I draw, I paint, I'm crafty. I hang pictures and organize, and anyways, I do things. You know, it's whatever. I'm crafty. I don't have to apologize for it. I don't think it makes me less of a bro. But if I figure I was going to do artwork, I'm going to do artwork. And so as cool as there's some really iconic photography, and it's art in its own right, I figure I'd grab this. And this was a candidate. Oh, man, that might arm in front of the camera. Smooth move here, dude. Someone wrote their name on it. There's a hole punch. Forgive it. This would have been a good candidate for best gatefold. But little Texas rock here, if I'm not mistaken. Is that where they're from? Of course, I'm not going to see that on here. This is published out of California, but this is some rad artwork. And in the political state that we're in now, with the government, it's just a devil over the White House, like a bullet to the brain. What world do we live in now? But it was relevant then. It's relevant now. I think it's some good music. They had a couple hits. You should find this beat up if you do find it. And then there's Blood Rock 1, 2, and 3. And then there's Cold Passage, I think. That's my Blood Rock collection. But kind of garagey, quasi-psych, old school, classic rock, southern rocky. Anyways, it's cool. I dig it. Check it out if you want to. But yeah, Blood Rock artwork. After that, I like that when I read it, it said psych cover. And so I could have shown a cliche, you know, not that there's anything wrong with cliche. Things become cliche for a reason because it's good enough to be known and associated with things. But when I went psych album cover, I didn't go like a traditional late 60s, early 70s psych, or even like the 80s resurgence of psych. I did a psych album cover, and this right here, if you see this is as psychedelic as the album cover comes. And it's an over-under gatefold. Super trippy. Here's the band. But this right here is on Nuclear Blast Records. I'm sorry, because it's this way, so I'm holding it wrong. This way to read it, though. But this is 2014 Nuclear Blast Records. And it's a trip, because if you know anything about Nuclear Blast Records, it's Lamb of God and Accept. There's some older bands that are still kicking, and they're still making metal there. But if I'm not mistaken, Nuclear Blast is not really what falls into it. I guess this is harder rock, psychedelic tinge, contemporary music. And I don't know, but what was Neil Young's band, Crazy Horse? I'm forgetting what their original name was right now. I lost my train of thought starting this video. But, oh, my watch is dead. Cool time. Battery time. That's what time it is. What time is it? Time to buy a battery. But anyways, their one hit was Pills Blues. And I don't know if this is a play of word on that, on Blues Pills. But that's a psychedelic album cover. Doesn't quite deliver the full-blown psychedelic experience. Interesting listen. Bought it used. Not mad at it. But that artwork definitely, when you go psychedelic album cover, the music, you might find way trippier stuff in regards to showing the music. But that's about as psychedelic and rad as you get as far as a psych cover goes. And jazz cover, I mean, what's more cliche? And I figured, I'm going to go cliche here. It's Miles Davis. I mean, this is Columbia. All those old Blue Note and Columbia, they're really simplistic. It was usually the artist or some picture in motion or transition. It's a trumpet or a saxophone on someone's lap, or someone with a bass in the background. But anyways, I think I got this prep to pull out because I'm bad at this, and some people it just makes their day to see stuff like that original Columbia 6i, which that is. But this plays beautiful. As I get more and more into jazz, I'm giving Miles Davis more of a chance. I like all sorts of music, but I'm getting more jazzy as it goes along. And this is one of my jazz records. Here it is. To me, that is a jazz album cover, But then Oddist. Man, there's so many oddities I like. I like weird. I'm pro weird, dude. If you haven't watched me, I got videos getting weird with Eric Weinbender. Have fun. Be eclectic. Be unique. Everyone tune in. Everyone rub elbows. So to speak, shake hands, high fives, comrade, all that, But what's odd to me is that this weird, who thought this was cool, man? This scrotum face eggplant dude right here for Commander Cody, I don't get that. If they thought that was cool or trippy or rad, or someone was smoking, a spliff back in the day and eating the brown acid, and they're just like, oh man, this is cool as hell. It's just not, I'd rather have a more glorified band cover or something less than that. To me, that's just unappealing. It's odd in the sense that it's actually odd, and even odder that someone thought that warrants being on the front of an album cover. It doesn't. But Hot Rod Lincoln. Son, you're going to drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that Hot Rod Lincoln. That's a cool one. Check it out. And then I kind of thought Oddist, and then they had Obscure on these. Some of these kind of overlapped a little bit, which is cool because it makes you think, and I like that. This right here is Obscure, and some people might go Obscure in the sense of that question, unknown, but should be more known, okay? That's why I use teen. And that's Obscure. By that definition, you could say this band's obscure. You might not know it, so check it out. I went Obscure for a reason. This dollar fine, and this is only $1 it ever should be. This Discotex and his Sexolites is horrendous music. It's a painful sit. This is not good. I don't know. I'd question someone if they were just like, this is a guilty pleasure. Like, I'm pro guilty pleasures. This is a, let me find a multi-syllable. Deplorable? Unplorable? Unforgivable? I don't know. Find a really officious, grandiose word with like 14 syllables in it. That deplorable, disgusting, atrocious. I mean, this is a pile of feces, this music. But, anyways, weird random album cover. Obscure for a reason. If you know it, it's probably because you know about the album cover or you know how bad the music is. But obscure for a reason. It is what it is. Oldest record. I have some old Leadbelly, and I figure what would really be appropriate here, my one and only 78. My father's father was a reverend. He was a pastor, a Lutheran minister, and he lived in Green Bay, like my boy, Chris has the spins. By the way, you self-doubted yourself. Don't do that. You're a good guy. You're likable. Yeah, everyone, people like you. Your subscribers they wouldn't be going up even with this contest if people didn't like you. So I figure I'd pull something that fits you. This is from, I believe it was Grace Church. I'm not too familiar. I was cleaning my grandma's house after she passed away, and this is a 78. I doubt you can read how faint this is, but it says, Sermon by the Reverend Robert Weinbender, recorded at Green Bay, Wisconsin and then it's blurred and water stained. It says side 1, side 2, but that's just on the paper. So if you do it the wrong way, who's ever going to know again? But yeah, that's an old 78, late 40s, early 50s, from Green Bay, Wisconsin. My father's father giving a sermon, and I'm a forever learner. I like knowledge. I'm sorry, I'm aggressively pointing. I know people in the military, they'd be very angry at me pointing. But, and that just helped me lose my train of thought. Oh, you never stop learning. In this sermon, I figured I'd listen to it. He was saying that the reason we say goodbye is, oh, girly, you remember? See, here I'm talking, I got a train of thought. I got dad rock in the background. You know, my cat won't come inside even though it's raining. And now I'm confused. You know, why are you chuckling? Goodbye. God be with you. All right, it's abbreviation of God be with you or something along that line. Someone's gonna have to Google it now, but because my internal Google just failed me. I'm pointing again. Here we go. No record's gonna be shown in the icon. Who knows here? Anyways, drop that subject. Oldest album, soul album. I mean, we're keeping it cliche. You know, I like it eclectic, but you know, right here, it's Marvin Gaye, dude. It's Marvin Gaye. This is Marvin Gaye live. I mean, what a tragedy it was the end of his life. But this is in super good condition. It's a gatefold. There's no mystery. If you like any kind of Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, anything along that lines, there's no reason that you have not to have heard this. And it's not terribly expensive. Good chance you'll find it. So hunt it down if you like it. My man was a performer. And it says 1977. So this is a couple years before he passed. But, or I should say, was unfortunately murdered by his own father. Like I say, tragic ending. But, yeah, Marvin Gaye. There you go there on that soul album. Guitar cover. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta cheat when you make these. As I mentioned in previous videos, your boy played bass. Was not good. I was not good. No need to get into it. There's a lot of things I do well. Bass was not one of them. I had too many passions at that time. I had too much testosterone and thoughts and friends and things of that nature. But Rick James, man. Rick James, look at that beautiful Rickenbacker bass. That thing, you see, it has basses on most of the stuff. This is another one of those things that was written, produced, and arranged by Rick James. My man played infinite instruments, but bass was his go-to. And it's got Give It To Me, Baby, Ghetto Life, Make Love to Me, Mr. Policeman, Super Freak, Fire and Desire, Call Me Up, Below the Funk, Past the J. I mean, this whole album is a front to back. I mean, if you like it a little funky, this is before it got too cliche and corny in the 80s. And that was just in the 80s. Cool in the Gang, everyone suffered from that. There's a weird transition in R&B, and if you didn't get swallowed up by disco prior to that, you probably got ruined later on by the 80s. But this Rick James, Rickenbacker bass is amazing. And it's in white. You know, Rickenbacker a lot of times had those wood tones and those red inserts and everything. So to see this in a black and white two-tone motif is pretty slick. And I can't tell by the image if that's a black board on it, or if it's a chrome board and the reflection is just not showing it. But I want to say it's black and white two-tone. But that's a gnarly bass. And so I figured, you know, I'm always encouraging everyone to get along here, and everyone be friends, and don't worry about your hang-ups. If you're all metal, I've said this before, I sound like I'm repeating myself. Whatever your cup of tea is, whatever your glass of wine is, whatever your go-to is over and over again, mix it up. Be friends with whoever in the VC, you know, get out there, look around, enjoy yourself. But so, if you're a CD collector, you're welcome. Show your CDs, you're showing music. That's your format, that's fine. And if you have a cassette here and there, I'll show a cassette. So one of the few that didn't get melted in a car or stolen from a junkie, we got Dire Straits. It's a steel guitar. Like, so there you go, bud. I did cheat. I show what I like. I'm a bass man. But there's Dire Straits, Brother in Arms. There is As You Wish. And while I was flipping through there, iconic album cover, I was like, hey, let's keep it cassette. I'm in the mix anyways, flipping through what I have left of cassettes. Never mind. Let me keep the lady out there. Where are you at? Yeah, I can't even see your reflection, but any hoozles. Never mind. Nirvana. If chances are, whether it's something that's been infiltrated into a younger generation, and it's just a part of the pop culture staple community, whatever, that you know it. But if you're in your mid-early 30s to mid-early 40s, that's just something you grew up with. It's a part of your life, and you know it. And that has to be the most iconic of all the early 90s grunge scene album covers, in my opinion. A lot of stuff's known, and Pearl Jam 10, so many things stand out in my mind, and Alice in Chains, and Soundgarden or whatever. But if you know those, and obviously you know Nirvana, and there we go. Are you taking photos of me? Are you taking photos of yourself? Oh, that's cute. Yeah, you're laughing so loud. Stop laughing so loud. You said you weren't going to make any noise. You're pretty when you smile. Yeah, oh, she's smiling. No, stop it. Stop laughing. You're a silly goose. Gansa Tanta. That's Spanish. If it's Spanish, you can Google that one too. All right, guitar album cover. Iconic album cover. And then to wrap it up, I'm at 26 minutes, so I'm going to try not to go on a rant. There's a couple bands who have been screwed by the kind of, it's a farce, it's a joke, it's ridiculous. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's some bands that just don't make sense. I'm pro Metallica, but how are you going to have Metallica get in before Iron Maiden and Judas Priest? Iron Maiden is, are they the most selling metal group of all time? Judas Priest still cranking it, extremely prolific. How are you going to let them out? You know, Green Day, huge fan of them. As soon as they're eligible, they're in because you need punk scene. You need to like tap onto as many genres as possible. There's some people that just got in out of order. It doesn't make sense. And my two biggest snubs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, personal opinion, are Judas Priest and this lady right here. For female lead is how I'm going to end it. Because Pat Benatar, forgive me for swearing, fucking rocked. And she was a front woman that just drilled it. You know, there's her band. Her husband, if I'm not mistaken, was a studio musician, and he was a leader in the band. And, dude, she was an amazing front woman. She really was. I'll just keep on holding this up. If Pat Benatar becomes my icon, I can't call her shots. I can't make things happen. But if Pat Benatar, if she wasn't a band, not that this is the music, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she's going to be the lead singer and start singing Painkiller or stuff like that. But she played with a band that was as tight and talented as a Judas Priest. That's not really her genre, but if she was a lead singer and she had the backing of like Eddie Van Halen and some of these other bands, Def Leppard, that were just tight, huge, big bands that were really well put together, and they weren't so formulaic in their guitar riffs and their transitions into drum and their lulls or whatever, and they're kind of like power ballads. Like if she was like kind of allowed to like let go and rock, Pat Benatar was a stone cold, kick-ass rock and roll chick, and she's getting shortchanged by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She was absolutely awesome. She aged fairly well. There's times in her life where she could eat she could eat in a sandwich, you know. But I'm not mad at her. I used to have a poster on my wall. She was wearing like a purple and black tiger jumpsuit with red heels, with a red belt and red heels. Oof, I chihuahua. That was nice. But Pat Benatar, give her a shot. I'm about to show a massive record haul. I just got some grails. I got some silly stuff. Awesome, amazing stuff. So anyways, I'll show one of the things. It's easy to complete the collection. If you want to be a completist with Pat Benatar, all our records in good condition are $4 to $10. But yeah, we're going to finish it up here with Pat Benatar. My finger's over her waist. I feel bad. But yeah, Chris Has a Spins. Check it out. Everyone have a beautiful day. Take care. God bless. And all that jazz. Hey, man. I knew I was going to go over 20 minutes with 20 questions, but I kept it under 30, and that's pretty rad. Alrighty now.